No, we had a couple days of practice. This has been this was good for us. Again, having what seems like an extra day, but a normal day, makes it a little bit better, for us at this time of year.
I'm sure you probably watched some of the Michigan game last night. Like, how do you keep guys focused on the here and now and not thinking about what could happen later?
Yeah, like I told my guys early, once we beat Maryland, we don't have to hope for anybody to win. We don't have to hope for anybody to lose. Don't worry about what anybody else does. Go earn everything yourself. Ball's in our court. They know that, and we take care of our business. That's what I told them. So it's one game at a time, because you all know Wisconsin's playing as good as anybody. They get beat by Maryland when they were 17 up, and everybody says, well, they're playing good. They're a good team. And because we got them at home doesn't mean anything. They've beaten us here more than a couple times.
Are you impressed with what Guard's done, given the two players he lost, and kind of the roster construction this year?
Sometimes addition by subtraction. Remember that. And in some cases, and I am impressed by that. I think he should be coach of the year. What he did, him and Chris Collins are two guys that I think have done an unbelievable job as far as everything. Dusty's in there. Those guys are all what they've done from what that last year brought. So, yeah, I have been impressed with what he's done with his team. He's changed who he is a little bit, who they are. They don't run the swing as much, but they run a thing called chin that's similar. It's continuity. But he's got some very good players. He's got some experience. He's got some age. And he's got a couple guys that really came on. Blackwell's one of them, and really making himself a hell of a player.
He sort of had his breakout game against you guys last year, Blackwell. Correct. What has he done in year two that sort of makes him different?
Well, I think he's improved enormously in all parts of his game with the ball, but his shooting mostly. So when he shoots like he does, then at 6'4", 6'5", and using his size and strength, he becomes a much better player. So he's one of their best defensive players. He's kind of like his dad was at Illinois. He's just done everything. I think he's improved in every area.
With I'm sorry. With Tanjay, what are you seeing in just what he does for them? And is there a comparison you can think of?
At times he's scored 30 points. So,
Yeah.
not a lot of guys to compare him to, but I say he's a linebacker on hardwood. He's 6'4", 6'5". He's got 220 pounds. He's very good with the ball. He can shoot with people on him. He can get his own shot. He's a bull guy. He's got strength. But some of the shots he takes and makes is incredible. He's got great range, and he's got the ability to shoot when people are guarding him.
When you have Klesman obviously missed most of that last game, how do you kind of prep for that? How much are they different with him and without him?
Klesman's a good player, and he's played well all year. They got three very good guards. All three of them are, playing a lot of minutes. They've got a guard coming off the bench, though. Their little point guard has done a good job too, and he's grown his depth as the year went on. Purdue, he had the one left-hander that hit 3 threes in a row. I think he's grown his depth, and his big guys. He's got 4 of them, 2 real big and 2 that 6'7", 6'8". He's kind of rotating them. I think he's done as good a job with that as anybody.
You feel like you guys are the two teams maybe playing the best team basketball without maybe. They've got obviously Tanjay, but
yeah, he could be the player of the year. I think if you look at, they're 1 in offense and we're 3. They're 1 in defense, or we're 1 in defense and they're 3. They're all rebounding teams by a little. So are we. They're a little lower turnover team than we are, but not much. If you look at the numbers, they're pretty good. They take more threes and make more threes than us. And but so does your church league team. So right now, none of us are, we're not making those, but we're going to make some. I really believe that. And when we do, we're going to become even a better team.
They've got a few guys who have 5, 6 years in college basketball, and I'm curious this time of year, what does that effect maybe have going into
Well, they do have one or two that are 6-year guys, and I mean, there's an advantage to that, especially when you come from a smaller program and you're hungry to prove yourself. You could say the wear and tear, but a 23, 4-year-old shouldn't have any wear and tear on him unless he's been injured. So I think that's an advantage. I think their age and maturity is an advantage for them to a certain extent.
When you've won 13 in a row, and then at some point this season, then you had the last 2 weeks that you guys have. Do you trust this team's ability to just handle what's next and not look too far ahead because it's sort of proven that?
Well, you keep saying look far ahead. I don't know. First of all, there's only 3 games left.
Sure, but just taking every game, knowing the importance of it. at this
Yeah,
stage.
I mean, if they're that crazy that they think we can show up and win, then we'll show up and lose. That's pretty simple. I mean, that's been stated to them a million times. I mean, we got a good basketball team, but we're not a show up and win basketball team. And not that there's many of them, but there are some. And so I'm not worried about we prepared like they're hungry to prepare. I'm not worried about them looking ahead. I'm not worried about them thinking we're better than we are. We just got to play good, you know. You got to practice good, then you got to play good.
I mean, that week stretch where you had the 6 games, does that maybe get those guys maybe a little bit more in focus for that at this time of year to short prep, just so you dial in on one team and
Yeah, you know, I think that week proved that we can do some of those things. You know, we can prepare, we can travel, we can play well enough. I think it was an important 3-4 games for us, but now we have actually some normal time. You know, what did we play on Tuesday, Sunday?
No, Wednesday, Sunday, yeah.
Wednesday and now Sunday. So that's really an extra day. I mean, this time of year, though, you know, you can use a lot. And some teams are going to go through that at the end of the year now, where they're going to play more games in a shorter period of time. That's just the way the schedule is.
There's 6-man McGee. What stands out to you about him? It seems like the whole Tasman situation.
Quick. He's done a good job of getting to the basket, getting their baseline side. He's very good at that. He shoots it very efficiently. Doesn't take a ton of threes. Just shoots them very efficiently. He's been a nice addition. He's really come on and played well.
How do you like your team's individual player development in the course of the season? Things like foul, ball screen defense, that's coming down.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've gotten better in a lot of areas, but you know, the glaring one that makes you question things is shooting the ball. You know, you kind of hope to get better in that area, but I think we're better. Like I think today in practice we shot it really well in the drills. You know, we got to shoot it well in games. You know, but I think other than that, I think Cohen's come a long way. Jaden's better with the ball. Jeremy, you know, I mean, in fairness to Jeremy, you know, you still, your best improvement is between your freshman and sophomore year, and he didn't get one. So he's improving more every day. I mean, Trey has improved a lot, both defensively and offensively. And Jace, because he's a freshman, has improved enormously just in the year that he's been here. You know, he has a unique knack, and he's handled it very well, very well.
How many times you watched the replay of Trey's shot? Did you get any feedback from anybody that stood out for that moment?
You mean that it was good coaching to make that shot? No feedback from Irvin.
Yeah.
That was good. But yeah, a lot of coaches, a lot of people called, and you know, we're excited. But I did say it to Andy, I did say it to you guys, I still mean it. There's a difference between making a shot when you hadn't played very well and everything. I'm going to stick to my line. We deserved to win that game. We played well enough to win it the whole second half. We would have deserved to lose it if we lost it, because giving up that lead late and fouling and a couple of tough calls. But no, I felt, I don't care what anybody else thinks, I thought it was a great shot. It's well planned. The guy that should get more credit that doesn't is Jackson. I mean, to get the rebound and toss it to him without thinking and not just turn and throw it was amazing.
But there was
How about
other parts
Jace's
of that.
awareness to defend that three-pointer?
What's that?
Jace's awareness to defend the three-pointer. You know, their last shot, you could have spectated on that, but he was right on point.
Yeah, he was. And we kind of had a feel where they were going and what they were doing. But I give him credit. That's probably where he's grown the most is defensively. He's got incredible offensive skills, but I think did he have 8 rebounds in that game? I mean, I've been telling him all year he's really a good rebounding guard. I mean, when he played on his high school team for his AU team, there were times he rebounded the ball really, really well. And I think that's taken a little knack to get used to that, So he's done a good job defensively.
I was going to say, the other 2 guys on the court, too, I mean, it was very role responsibility moment because, like, Jaden was denying in the corner, but Cooper's box out gave Jackson that clear board otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that in a tough situation, we handled it pretty well. I'm sad that it came down to that because I don't think it should have, but it did, and no matter what they did, we deserved to win.
Do you worry about any lingering euphoria or hangover from it at all, or?
I'm not. I mean, you did what this program should do, and it's done it probably 10 times, 20 times, and that's you get the last 2 weeks, you get the last 4 games, now it's 3 games. You have a mathematical chance to win the league, and that's what I said from the first time I won the league. I haven't felt any different. I think that pressure should be on if it's pressure, or I think we should expect that because of where the program is, and it's not always going to work out your way, but it sure as hell they don't think they've accomplished anything. I mean, look at the banners. I mean, there hasn't been one hung in a little while, although let's not forget that maybe one of my best teams, maybe a Final Four team, COVID hit. So I don't think they're looking ahead. I don't think they're thinking they've accomplished the world. I think they're handling it very mature and very excited. And that's kind of the way we've done it the whole time, and that's why I think they hold each other accountable a little bit more.
The captains kind of dictate some of that.
Yeah, they do, and they're doing that.
You've mentioned a couple times like not knowing at points this season how good you guys were, what your ceiling was. I don't know, maybe you still, but when was the moment where you felt like the Big Ten title is capable, this team's capable of that? Like, do you remember a game or a time where you're like, you know what, maybe there's a ceiling?
It was a little more recently than you would think. In other words, it wasn't 4 games ago. It wasn't after we beat a couple teams. It wasn't when we beat Oregon or something.
Asked Cohen the other day, he said the Ohio State game, so you're not going back that far.
Cohen said that? That's why he's a player and I'm a coach. Okay? But, I felt after we beat Michigan, we would have a chance because we get into that mathematical thing that I talk about. Sure. And then when we went on the road at Maryland and won, I said, now we got a real chance. But you still look at our schedule, we got 2 of the top 2 or 3 teams we got to play. And then we got to go to a team who scores 90 points a game. I mean, they can score it, you can call it a trap game, you can call it anything. They're good. I mean, he's done a good job there. They're really good offensively, and so I ain't looking by anybody. I don't look by my scout team practice, for Christ's sake.
But when you thought they were capable, was Wednesday, you know what I mean? Or in terms of when you thought that was...
Yeah, capable? Yeah, maybe that was a week ago, capable, but where I thought it was, like I said, I stick to my theory. 2 weeks left, 4 games left, you mathematically have a chance. That's when I think we can. Now, some years, in fairness, if I think we're really good, maybe I look at it a little differently, but I think we're as good as we play. And if we play good, we are good. If we shoot good, we maybe could be great.
Does the unknown of 18 teams and all these one plays, does that play something into that? Like maybe you could have known a little earlier?
Oh, for sure. And then these late one-game, first-time preps, drives you nuts, to be honest with you. But it is what it is, and it's the same for everybody else. So I'm not complaining about it, but it does give you less, when you haven't seen some teams. You haven't seen Maryland. You haven't seen Oregon. You haven't seen Michigan. You watch it on tape, you do this and that. You hadn't seen Indiana. Now you haven't seen Wisconsin. So it's hard to feel good about it until you see them up close and personal.
You haven't seen Iowa.
I'm not big into internet dating, It wouldn't have worked for me. It might have worked for some of you guys. It wouldn't have worked for me. So I got to see somebody in person. And when you do see them in person, then you feel like, you know what, you're as good as them. Or maybe they're a little better than you, but you can beat them. You know, you get those thoughts.
You mentioned the shooting struggles. I'm curious how much of that, and maybe this is crazy, but just thinking that you have those struggles plays into actually having the struggles. Like, do you think that maybe manifests some of the problem?
Yeah, I 100% do, but I am who I am. So I'm too damn honest with you guys. You know, I say we're struggling to shoot the three. Is that any earth-breaking news? I mean, even you guys can see that. So I don't believe in, I tell them we got to work on it to get better. But this thing about a coach can give you confidence. Well, all you guys are writing about it. All the Twitter people are tweeting about it. All the idiots on Facebook are talking about it. So I just say, hey guys, they're right. We're not shooting good. Now you want to do something about it or not? And that's the way I try to handle it. Is it mental? Of course, with some guys it's mental. But there's pro pitchers that it's mental. There's pro quarterbacks that it's mental. There's pro basketball players. This doesn't change. It never does change. But I know this. I got faith in Jaden Akins. I got faith in him because I've seen what he's done year after year after year after year. And I know how hard he works. So that ain't what. If I go down, I'm going down with him. I mean, now Chase Richardson has raised his game. If I got guys like that on each wing, and then have Jeremy and Trey, now we've got something special. If we're not shooting the ball well, then we got to rely on our defense and our rebounding and our fast break and things like that.
Coach, the depth of this team has been something that the team's been commended for a lot this season. I'm just curious how this bench productivity compares to other Michigan State teams you've had the privilege of coaching in your career.
Yeah, well, championship year, we had a good bench. Year after that, we had Zach Randolph and Marcus Taylor coming off the bench. We've had some good benches, but not where they were utilized like these guys, and not where, we've got a togetherness that they all understand what each guy is doing, and nobody has a big, and winning helps. If you lost a couple games, there'd be people complaining.
Do you like how when you go to the bench, Carr, Holloman, and Cooper, you get more athletic? That's a little different, isn't it?
I love it. I absolutely love it. And as you know, Holloman's not on the bench because he's not a good enough player. Neither is Carr. And Cooper started before. It's just maybe the rotation is right. Maybe I need some firepower coming off the bench. Maybe I need certain guys playing together. And that's taken half a year through 2/3 of a year to figure out, And that's what I respect about Trey, and that's what I respect about Jace. But Jace got better. I think he's fresh right now. He can play more minutes. There's a lot of people out there with guys that have played a lot of minutes that are sucking wind right now. A lot of them that I won't mention, but you guys know.
Anything else, guys?
Shit.
Thanks.